Welcome back. You're still watching the Nile article, and to be shedding more light on the Egyptian bilateral ties with the Gulf Cooperation Council countries, as well as the condemnation that we have seen being released by the Egyptian Foreign Ministry following the attacks that targeted the GCC countries as well as Iraq and Jordan for the past few months. The Iranian attacks that had targeted those countries in the past few months within the war that has been taking place in the region in the Middle East between the United States, Iran and Israel. I'm honored to be having with me over the phone Dr. Asmaa Elzieny, the Senior Fellow at the Global Peace Institute, the GPI in the United Kingdom. Dr. Asmaa, thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile TV International and the Nile article.
It is an honor. Thank you so much for having me.
The honor is all mine. First of all, how do you assess the political agenda of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the political leadership and Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati regarding the dependence on the diplomatic efforts, on the diplomatic solutions to the crisis that we have witnessed in the region, like the Gaza war or the aggression that had been taking place between the Israeli occupation forces or from the occupation forces against the innocent Palestinians, and then the war between the United States, Israel and Iran. What is the importance of this approach being undertaken by Egypt?
The policy Egypt is achieving towards the situation in the region, especially in Palestine, and regarding what is happening to the neighboring Arab countries, all Arab countries. Egypt has a balanced situation, and it is firm and very confirmed every now and then. Egypt is keen on the integrity and the unity of all the Arab lands. This was very clear in the peace deal that was achieved with the mediation of Egypt and other countries regarding the situation in Gaza. And it is very clear regarding what is the strikes directed to the Gulf countries, being Kuwait, Emirates, Saudi Arabia, whatever, by Iran during the last conflict between U.S., Israel and Iran. Egypt is so keen on the integrity and sovereignty of all Arab countries. This situation is firm and stable, and one of the pillars of the Egyptian diplomacy declared and announced to the whole world, whatever the occasion is.
Yes, Dr. Asmaa, in your opinion, how do you see the importance of the Arab coordination between Egypt and the rest of the Arab and the Islamic world, and more specifically leading to more regional security and stability through the diplomatic agenda of the country?
I believe this is so urgent and so needed action. It is so important that all the Arab countries announce the same stance towards any attack against one country. And Egypt is firm also in this and very clear. I believe that the only way reaching de-escalation of the situation in the region is that we keep sticking to this. We are keen on the integrity and sovereignty of all Arab and all countries, and also the citizens or even people living in these countries. It is not accepted at all to allow harming the interests or the integrity of the people being staying in these in any of all the Arab countries.
Yes, Dr. Asmaa, how do you see the latest developments in the Gaza Strip, in the West Bank, and more specifically after the efforts of Egypt on both levels, the humanitarian level and the diplomatic level, and the efforts of Egypt on both fields or in both fields, especially that we have seen for the past few days the convoy of Egypt of Zaid al-Izza from Egypt to Gaza in its 243rd edition. This is the 243rd convoy from Egypt to Gaza. The Rafah border crossing is always open from the Egyptian side. It has been closed from the Palestinian or the Israeli side. How do you see the statements of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and Foreign Minister Dr. Badr Abdulati that there will be no lasting peace in the region, in the Middle East, except for Palestine when it has an independent state with the 4th of June of 1967 borders and with East Jerusalem as its capital? What is the importance of always stating those principles?
Egypt is sticking to its stance towards Palestine. We need, Egypt sees that we need three immediate and important things. The humanitarian part, that we make sure that the needs, the humanitarian aid is reaching the people timely and completely. But sadly, this is not achieved, as you just have said. Egypt is allowing passing of all the humanitarian aid, but it is blocked as usual since we reached this deal by the Israeli part, and this is completely unacceptable. And the second part that is needed to reach the sustainable peace in Gaza, the security arrangement inside Gaza and in all Palestine, this is so crucial, and we need to reach a very clear situation regarding this. And also the diplomatic solution is not away from the awareness of Egypt regarding the situation in Gaza. And these three pillars, points that the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdel Ati, is affirming continuously. It's not only the humanitarian aid, not only the political situation or the diplomatic one or security one. We need to have these three balanced situations.
Yes, and speaking about stability and security, there is some kind of balance for Egypt, more specifically, to be maintaining the national security interests of the country and sending humanitarian aid to the Palestinians in the Gaza Strip, to be defending the Palestinian cause at any possible opportunity. How do you see this balance being struck under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for the benefit of the Egyptians and for the benefit of the Palestinian cause?
Openly, we are not taking care of the situation in Palestine and other Arab countries only because they are neighbors, because they are like part of the Egyptian national security. We consider that the stability and the de-escalation of all the neighboring countries, being Palestine, Sudan, or even the other Gulf states, is part of our own national security. That's why we have a duty to our neighbors, of course, as a state, but we consider it as our own interest. There is no difference between keeping the integrity of the Egyptian lands than in keeping the integrity of Palestine. Of course, Egypt respects the will of the Palestinian people and the arrangements they have, but we treat the stance as if it is our own national security.
Yes, and today we have seen in Washington a meeting between the American President Donald Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. How do you see the alignments that could be formed after such a meeting, especially that there were several disagreements before?
We are waiting for this meeting to come out with a concrete result that both parts, being U.S. and Israel, respect to what has been reached before, because we are keen on reaching the second phase of the peace deal that was reached regarding confirming the arrangements for achieving the stability in Gaza and all Palestine. I believe that the results of this meeting is going to be more clear with the upcoming few days.
Yes,
not on the spot having the meeting today.
Yes, Dr. Asmaa, and speaking about the past few days, the consultations taking place between the President of Egypt, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, and his counterpart from Tunisia, for example, Qais Said, the Kuwaiti Emir, Sheikh Mash'al al-Jabr al-Sabah. And on the other hand, we have seen other deliberations by the Foreign Minister, Dr. Badr Abdel Ati, with his counterpart from Jordan, Ayman al-Safadi. How do you see this ongoing momentum in terms of the Arab coordination and cooperation regarding the latest updates and developments in the region in the Middle East?
Egypt is playing a role among all Arab states. We in a very bad need to reach one stance, one word regarding what's happening in the region, and I believe Egypt is achieving great achievement in this regard by these very quick movements and phone calls and visits done by His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi with his counterparts, and also by the very active Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Badr Abdel Aati. Even he's coming back from Manila in Philippines after the partnership and very quick visit to Manila to be back to the region. We are keen to keep playing this very active role and uniting all the Arab states on one word. We are keen on the de-escalation and the stability and integrity of all the Arab countries.
Yes, Dr. Asmaa Elzieny, the Senior Fellow at the Global Peace Institute, the GPI in the United Kingdom. Thank you very much for being with us tonight on Nile Article and Nile TV International. And this brings us to the end of the episode for tonight. Thank you for watching and goodbye.